You're watching a video on why getting healthy isn't fun and why that's exactly why it works. If you've been beating yourself up because it doesn't feel easy or exciting, then you've been lied to. Healing your body feels boring, uncomfortable, and honestly, kind of sucks at first. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why chasing fun destroys your results and how to finally break through the hardest part. I'm Dr. Forrest Sauer, and I help people fix their hormones, digestion, and energy by solving real root causes without the guesswork. And here's the real trap. Your brain is wired to chase comfort right now in the moment, and therefore you're going to turn to scrolling, the sugar, skipping workouts, and they feel amazing in the moment, and they destroy your long-term health. I had a patient one time. They dominated the first 30 days of clean eating. And then after one hard weekend, it completely broke her. She thought it wasn't easy. It wasn't fun. It wasn't working. But the real healing, it's boring. It's repetitive. It's uncomfortable. And that's exactly why it works. Because when you start lifting weights, is it fun? No. When you start on your gut healing journey, is it fun to have to cut out the gluten and the dairy? Absolutely not. And was fixing your sleep fun when you had to ditch the Netflix at 10 p.m.? No. But feeling strong, having energy again, getting pregnant after years of fertility struggles, that's fun. Fun is the reward, not the process. You see, I had a client one time tell me that the first 30 days was brutal, but waking up with energy was worth every single boring meal. So there's 3 truths that you need to know about so that way you can start mastering your health and wellness journey. Here's truth number 1. You're going to start feeling terrible long before you start feeling good. And I am not talking about physically. I'm talking about emotionally. You see, most of the people watching this, they're either feeling sick, fat, or depressed, or you know that you could be better. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. So let's go ahead and just say right now, I am assuming you're feeling sick or somewhere along that continuum. So you don't feel great, but you have all these habits. All of these habits, you have this way of life that is built up that made you feel sick, and we need to start breaking them. And so we need to start transitioning over to different habits. And this is where it's going to start to get uncomfortable. This is where you're not going to feel great because you need to change. You need to start changing to become a better, healthier person. And this is where most people get stuck because you're going to enter what we call the gap. You see, right now, here, this is where it feels oh so comfy. Right in the moment, you go ahead and eat that bag of chips, or you skip that workout, or you don't do anything. Hooray! Everything feels great. Long term, that smile starts turning into a frowny face. And in fact, there's a lot of tears. There's a lot of regret. You probably know that you could be doing better. You got a nose, and your nose is always dripping because you got inflammation. And you're a typical woman that has these emotions, that you have these mood swings. It's very frustrating, not just simply for you, but also for your significant other, because your hormones are out of balance. And now you're like, my gosh, my life is going all to beat heck. And it's all because of those kids that's creating me stress and my hormones. And you've tried living healthy lifestyles before. You've tried making dietary changes, but we've never been able to make it through the gap. Because on the other side, this is who you want to be. So want to be. Just like the army. Be all that you can be. All right, so that's the army. So this is where you want to be. This is where everybody wants to be. We want to be fit. We want to be happy. We want to be sexy. We want to feel good about ourselves. This is where we want to be. Hooray! Everybody's over here, all smiles. There's a little bit of fireworks. That's a firework. That's my first time drawing a firework. That's actually not too bad. And then this is going to be this gap. So that's where you want to be. But there's a whole bunch of problems that are fit inside the gap. Like, what do I eat? Do I exercise? What habits should I change? How much do I drink? Like water. And then there's all of the other unknowns, like what if I'm taking medications? What happens if I'm taking the supplements? What supplements are going to help me along this journey? There's all these questions, and you are in we call that gap. So truth number 1 is that during this gap, it is going to be maximum discomfort. And this gap can either last anywhere between 30 days or years if you don't get the right things aligned. That's why, yes, you need to start drinking half your body weight in ounces ounces every single day. Have healthy habits that are going to start stacking towards your favor instead of tearing your body down. Eating whole foods that are not processed and filled with artificial sweeteners or sugar or bad oils that only create inflammation and destroy your health. Yes, you need to exercise, but usually this is the last piece that you need to start implementing because you don't want to start tearing your body down faster than you're building your body up. And all the while, your brain is going to be fighting every single step of the way, tooth and nail, because it's addicted to how things were back here. So truth number one is you're going to have to fight long and hard through the gap. Truth number two, feelings are a terrible measurement tool. Progress is not exciting. It's the consistency that you need to measure. And so step number one is we need to start focusing and recognizing that, like we said, there is a gap. So that's truth number one. There's going to be a gap. Truth number two is that the progress is not going to be exciting. So don't expect it to be exciting. We need to start tracking our progress and recognizing that we need to start mastering consistency over the results. This is where we're going to be focusing on, if we're going to make it through the gap, we need to focus on our progress and focus on how many times we can be consistent. Not the results, not am I losing weight. This is where dreams go to die, is when you start expecting certain results within a certain period of time. Now, truth number three is building health is building a different identity. You don't just simply become healthy, just like you don't simply become sick. There's habits, there's a kind of a person, there's a kind of a personality, there's certain traits that you're going to adopt if you're going to become sick. Guess what? You need to adopt the traits of becoming a healthier person. So truth number three is we are going to change our identity. We need to start changing who we become, because who we were created the sick person, the person we're trying to change and get away from, which means you're going to have to start changing your habits, and you do have to become a different person if you want to start making lifelong, life-changing results instead of just simply a short period of time. So you become a different person with different instincts. And here's the magic. Once your body starts trusting in you again, then the work starts to feel good. You see right here, when you are feeling sick, you need to make it through the gap to be who you can be. And this is where things start feeling fun, because your body and your emotions are starting to trust in yourself because you've made it through the gap. If you start questioning yourself, if you wonder if you're doing the right things at the right time, you're never going to be able to master your emotions or how you're feeling, because the gap is going to kill you. The way that you make it through is start trusting in yourself, becoming that new and different person. So here are the three things that you can do to make it through the gap. Here's three solutions on how you can survive that gap in that unfun stage. Goal number one is to set process goals. Like I said, it is consistency that is going to win the race. So how many healthy meals have you stacked in a row? It is not have you lost 10 pounds yet, or it is how many times are you able to go work out or exercise or go on a 10-minute walk after you eat. If you start setting your goals for the process, the results will come. And that way you get to gamify repetition. You get to start stacking the wins like a video game and start stacking your streaks. The second step to mastering the gap stage is tracking your progress. Why do you need to track? You'd think, well, I'm going to be able to feel the differences when they occur, and that's going to help keep me motivated. Nay. You are going to have bad days. You're going to have bad hours. You're going to have bad afternoons, bad morning. It's life. Nothing is perfect. And when you have a bad morning or a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, this is when the emotions can start to come in. So when you're tracking your progress, you can actually see into your past and say, I have been waking up with more energy. I am consistently having more good days than bad days. I am noticing that I am having less inflammation because I'm able to get on the ground, play with my kids or grandkids longer than I ever have before. These are only going to become real when you start tracking these results, journaling, writing them down, checking in. How is your night's sleep in? How much brain clarity are you having? How is your energy? How's your stamina? And you get to celebrate the boring wins. Have you meal prepped? Have you walked after dinner? Celebrate those. A patient one time, they journaled all of their boring wins for 60 days. And today, she's able to run. Not because she started measuring herself if she was able to run yet or not, but because she was focusing on the process. She was setting herself process goals and she was tracking her results. And she stopped judging the progress by how excited she felt. So the last thing that most people don't do and completely ignore and don't take the time to do is to celebrate. If all you focus on is the drudgery and the bad things and the things that you have to give up, you're going to go back to sick habits. And you need to and I would highly recommend that you take a moment and celebrate the wins so that you can recognize how far you have become and internalize that so that you can make it through the gap, you can maintain these consistent changes, and you can change your identity and who you become so that you can maintain healthy lifestyle for the rest of your life. Guys, I hope this was helpful for you and helps really setting the proper expectations on what it actually looks like to live a healthy lifestyle, because in the very beginning and most of the time for a long period of time after that, it doesn't feel fun in the moment, and that's okay. My name is Dr. Forrest Sauer, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.